Hello, everyone. Steve back, coming at you again with another one. And today we are tackling prompt number one, implicit bias. All right, let's jump right into it. Now, to my understanding, you know, this is obviously going to be a pretty complex topic, regardless, right? And determining if a person can genuinely believe that racism is wrong and still hold implicit racial bias, I don't think it's possible. And that's because I believe, racism in itself is something that's not subconscious. It's not something that you're unaware of, right? You've made the conscious decision to say, okay, I don't like this set of people. And that's something that I believe we can't necessarily categorize as implicit bias, in my opinion. Now, based off of multiple articles that I've read and videos that I've watched to review the topic, implicit bias, it runs contrary to conscious beliefs at times, right? So if you become like self-aware that you have this implicit bias about another race or another type of, another set of individuals, right? You have to actively find ways to shut that thought process off, especially if you truly believe that racism is wrong. I don't believe it's possible to actually hold both of those, right? Because obviously, once a implicit bias becomes known to that person, it's no longer implicit, right? So, anyway, the next point here is, I was going to actually utilize an example from my previous job, but crazy enough that what was it yesterday? Yesterday I went to Grease Monkey. It's a place where you can get preventative maintenance on your car, and you get your oil change and all that type of stuff, right? So I'm at Grease Monkey, and I drive a 2016 Chevy Silverado. Right, I got it lifted, got the big tires on it. Um, Most people don't ever believe that that's my vehicle that I'm driving, and obviously because I'm black, I have dreads, and in my area, it's not necessarily a car that or the a type of vehicle that you see people like me in. And I like what I like, right? So obviously it is what it is. Now, I was there. There was me and another gentleman at the Grease Monkey waiting to get our cars finished. And this Grease Monkey specifically has two lanes, right? Two lanes. So we're both parked there. We're both waiting for our cars to be done, and we're both waiting outside. The other gentleman, he's a Caucasian male. He had an older vehicle. It was a lot older. Let's say probably 1994, 95, or something, right? Anyway, that wasn't my car. But one of the associates that works inside the Grease Monkey, she was an older white woman. Um, she comes up to me and says, "Hey, are you gonna be going to the gas station after you leave here?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "Because your car's on E. There's no gas in your car. Your car's on E." I'm like, I just put gas in my truck." She's like, "Oh, the truck is yours." And the other car, was for the other guy that was there waiting for me, And she automatically assumed because I'm black, because I have dreads, that truck is likely not mine, right? And the other vehicle is more than likely my car. And she, immediately felt stupid because I was like, "No, ma'am, that's not my vehicle. I am in that truck right there. That's my car." And she felt, how she felt, super embarrassed, and she apologized, but she didn't even realize that she was doing that. She thought she was helping me, right? I didn't take offense to it. Obviously, it's something that I'm used to at this point, but it's something that she didn't realize that she made a false narrative. Like it was a false assumption about me or the vehicle that I was driving. And anyway, that happened, and that's actually a really good example of an automatic judgment placed on me that was wrong, right? Now, a time that I placed an automatic assumption on somebody else was actually for the job that I'm currently in, right? I work at Gartner, and I'm in the finance area at Gartner. I'm a manager, and my current manager that I report to um, is someone that I actually did have an automatic assumption about, and it had nothing to do with him personally, because all of the managers that work on the leadership team that I'm on, all of us have been like we've gone through the rankings, right? We came in as a line level, entry level associate. We worked our way up, right? All of us, literally, with the exception of this one gentleman, right? Now we embarked on a journey. It's a finance transformation where we're essentially like like I don't want to say re-evolving, but evolving our entire financial structure to be more innovative, to be more, with the times, right? And my SVP decided that she wanted to bring in a manager from the outside. So they hired an external candidate to come in an executive leadership position to bring fresh ideas to the table, and to kind of give us the upper hand, and kind of not, because obviously everyone else being here for so long, it's a common theme that we all kind of are stuck in the same mindset, right? And change is not going to be necessarily accepted as much, but him coming into the door actually helped out a lot, and I didn't want to accept him. I automatically assumed that he wouldn't be a good fit, that he wasn't one of us, and I quickly realized that it wasn't right to think that about this person, because I've never met him before. All I know is his name at this point, and the bias in itself really just came from the decision to bring somebody from the outside into our family, right? Like, he doesn't belong here. He's not one of us, and that was honestly wrong, because you know now that I report to him directly, it's actually quite crazy that he's probably been one of the best managers that I've had since working for this company. So um, it's the only way to move forward and personally reduce implicit bias, honestly, is just to view life through a different lens. Really, it's give people the benefit of the doubt. Try not to automatically assume that you know things about people that you don't know. Right? Don't assume what kind of vehicle they drive. Don't assume how much money they have. Don't assume anything about them, because you don't know. Um, I have this happen all the time, right? Like, things like this happen to me a lot. It's whether I'm encountering an interaction with a police officer of some sort. They kind of have their guard up more with me until they speak to me. Then it's like, oh, this guy's pretty cool. But it's like, this is an issue. You know what I mean? Um, yeah, I feel like ultimately, if you treat people how you want to be treated, you stand a better chance of everyone kind of being on more of a leveling playing field, and the bias is out the window.